that's a really good, important piece. And it's one I find there's much misunderstanding about. And I'll give you a model that I got from Oz Guinness. It really helped me. And it really helps everyone I tell it to, because we don't think about it this way. What Oz says is that our primary calling as Christians is to become disciples of Christ. That's our primary calling. We all share that together. But he says out of that primary calling flow 4 secondary callings. And these secondary callings are the way that this primary calling kind of works itself out in the real world. It's how the rubber meets the road, right? And those callings are calling to the church, are calling to family, are calling to community, and are calling to vocation. So what Oz says is during the day, during any given day, all those are in play, right? And you wouldn't say, well, my calling to work is so important that I'm going to ignore my family this week. You wouldn't say that. But you would balance your time out in such a way that, you do all of them. Now, there can be times in your life when you're going to be very different, right? So when you retire, okay, and I don't particularly like that word retire because I don't believe in it from the perspective of typically the way we talk about it. But when it gets to a place where you don't have to work for money, put it that way, and God lets you spend more time with your family, that's okay, right? That's the way it's supposed to work. Or more time in the community, or more time at the church. But see, the reality is we're called to do work, paid and unpaid, in those 4 buckets through our whole lifetime. And we can't ignore that. And we ignore it at our peril, right? So part of it is balancing that out, and part of it is being conscious that we are responsible to do work in the church. We are responsible to do work in our community. We're all responsible to do work. And it's through that work that God makes a difference. It's through that work in those 4 buckets that he changes the world. That's the instrument he's chosen to bring shalom to our families, to our churches, to our communities, to our vocations. And we need to get on board with that.